Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamugacchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, any questions, clarifications that we have done up to now, or everything is fine? Since nobody is responding, I have to assume that nobody has any doubt. Okay. Okay. So now getting back to this thing, I had said I will do that mantra Om Purnamada Purnavidam in brief today. I have not yet decided what next text to take, but I think most of you have the 8 Upanishads with you, right? Respond, at least nod your head if you have yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Not
Yes, sir.
okay.
Swamiji.
Yeah. Okay. Since you have, most of you have that, I will put it up on the group whether I am going to do Aitriya, Prashna or Taitriya. Okay, one of the three I will start. So I will let you all know that. Okay.
Swamiji, you have to include me in the group, otherwise I won't get communication.
Okay.
Vijayaraghavan.
Yeah, I will include you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than me, who all are the admins in this group? Anyone here?
Swamiji,
Nirmala, you are an admin?
yes, on the Friday Upanishad group, I am the admin. So if
Okay,
anybody wants to
Punjabikation is also there on this group. Friday Upanishad group. Yeah, add her in the I will send you her number.
She has to send me
Hold on,
that
Punjabikation.
number.
Punjabikation, hold on. Add her in the Friday Upanishad group because she is also from out of town. Okay?
Okay.
So it will be better if she is in that group because then she will get updates of everything that's happening in the other classes also. Not limited to this group. Yeah? So I'll send you her number. Just add her to that
Yeah.
group.
Please send me her number.
Now, I'm asking Nirmala to do it in the other group.
Okay.
There is a group where people from abroad are there.
Okay.
Okay? So it'll be easier then. And most of those members attend this class also. They attend some other classes also. Say all of the information about all of them will go to her. She is also attending more than one class. Whereas if you add her in the Friday Gita Bhashyam class, then she will get message only about this. Yeah. Okay. So now back to the verse. Verse is simple if you look at it. Okay. Purnam Adaha. Adaha is that. Purnamidam. What do you see? This. Purnat Purnamugacchate. From Purnam, Purnam has come. From the Purnam, you remove the Purnam. Purnam alone remains. If you don't know a little bit of Vedanta, it will not make any sense. That is why people like Macmillan and all said, this is the blackberries of humanity in its infancy. Okay, people think, oh, Max Muller was a great supporter of Hinduism. He was not. Okay, he was a colonialist. Yeah. Though he said a few good things about us also. Anyway, the word Purnam. The word Purnam is used in many meanings in our day-to-day connotation. Bottle, Purnam, it's full of water. Bottle, Purnam, full of water. You go to a Bandara in Rishikesh, and after having eaten half a dozen laddus and puris and sabji and everything, they'll come again, Bhagwan, some more. Maharaj, Purnam, Purn ho gaya. Purnam. So, the literal meaning, the way the word Purnam is used in the language is to show it is full. But what is full will depend upon your reference point. No? It is like using the word infinite in Sanskrit, in English, not Sanskrit, in English. How do you use the word infinite in Sanskrit? How many grains of sand on the beach? Oh, infinite number. Meaning it's a very large number beyond your comprehension, beyond your ability to count, etc. Purnam is used in a less manner. It just means full. Stomach, bottle, barely 1 liter capacity. Stomach little more, bit more expandable. The hall, Purnam, full. How many people? 1,000 people. Full hall. Okay. Talking about the hall reminds me, I hope all of you have got the intimation of the Guru Purnima program. We had put it in the newsletter. I hope all of you are receiving it and opening it and reading it. Okay. Now, so the hall is Purnam, full. 1,000 people are sitting. So you notice the meaning of the word Purnam keeps changing. Size of Purnam. It only means full. Now, we are using Purnam with respect to that. Purnam Adaha. Now, what is Adaha? Unless specified in Sanskrit, third person will always stand for Ishvara, Bhagavan. Unless specified. Okay. If you say he is great and you are not specified who that he is, he means Bhagavan. If you have to make it refer to someone, then you have to specify it. Therefore, Adaha Purnam, that is Purnam. That means what? Ishvaraha, direct meaning. Ishvaraha Purnam. See, with respect to Ishvara, what will Purnam mean? It cannot be Purnam like this bottle. It cannot be Purnam like my stomach. It cannot be Purnam like the hall. 1,000 people can sit means maximum the hall will be 10,000 square feet और कितना रहेगा? A 10,000 square feet hall can sit. That's not Purna. That's small. Therefore, with respect to each Ishvara, when you are using the word Purnam, it has to be Desha Kala Apirichinnam Purnam. What is absolutely Purnam? Unconditioned by time and space. So that Adaha Ishvaraha Purnam Desha Kala Apirichinnam. Okay. There are many ways of explaining this. I am following one way, okay? If you read that Puja Swamiji's small booklet, it is followed a slightly different way. I know many of you would have read that, therefore I am doing this way. Okay. Therefore, Adaha Ishvara Desha Kala Apirichinnam. Then he says, Purnam idam. This is also Purnam. So this can refer to whatever is drishti gocharam. This is also a relative term. But whatever is seen by you, drishti gocharam. All right, what is seen by you? Everything. That's also Purnam. How many Purnams can be there? How many Purnams can be there? If it is Desha Kala Aparichannam, it has to be only one. No? But the Upanishad saying that is also Purnam, this is also Purnam. Then he goes to make another statement. Purnat Purnam Ugacchate. From that Purnam, this Purnam is born. Okay, okay. From the infinite, infinite is born. That means both will become finite. Then he says, makes another statement. Purnasya Purnam Adaya. From that Purnam, if you remove this Purnam, Purnameva Avishishyate. What is left behind is only Purnam. Now you know where they got the mathematical concept of infinity from. From infinity you remove infinity, it's still infinity. Both zero and infinity are concepts from Sanatana Dharma into the world. Okay. Now, how can you remove one Purna from the other Purnam, and how can one Purnam come from another Purnam? Physically, it cannot come. Physically, it cannot come. How can it come? Because if it has to physically come, it will be like the baby being born from the mother. Is the baby in the mother's womb Advaita? Can you give the example of a mother carrying a baby, a fetus, as an example of Advaita?
No, no,
Why not?
no. Why? Because if the Purnam comes out of the Purnam.
Forget Purnam, I am just giving you this example.
No, but when the child comes out, it need not be Purnam properly without any problem in the physical body or any
Now,
damage. There
your
is no
answer,
damage.
it is not is correct, but this explanation is a bit wanting. Okay? That mother and baby cannot be because even when the baby is inside the mother, it's a separate entity. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's a dependent relationship in terms of survival. Okay, in terms of survival. It's like part and whole. Part and whole is not Advaita. If something has parts, it is not limitlessness. That means from that Purnam, this Purnam cannot physically come. But you experience the world. It's a physical reality. So we will say, it is the Purnam has come, the Idam Purnam has come from Adap Purnam, exactly like how the kurta has come from the cloth. Are kurta and cloth two separate entities? The kurta itself, the cloth itself is appearing as the kurta. The kurta itself is the appearance of the cloth. Coming is aupacharikam, meaning not to be taken factually. It is like saying, if you want an easier example, though I don't know what is difficult about this example, how the snake has come from the rope. From a 10 feet rope, a 10 feet snake has come. Has come, has appeared. It appears different. It appears distinct. It appears as though it's a separate entity. But it is not. Same thing with the kurta. It appears as though it is separate from the cloth. But the color of the kurta is the color of the cloth. The fall of the kurta is the fall of the cloth. Weight of the kurta is the weight of the cloth. The texture of the kurta is the texture of the cloth. Where is kurta? That form, Swamiji. Hands are separate, there is separate with the opening for the head. Okay. Appearance. Form is different. So all that has come is only a form for which you are given a name. In fact, if you look at any creation, that's how it is. What is it that you are creating? Create a pot? Are you creating an existing pot or a non-existing pot? If you are saying I am creating a non-existent pot, existing pot, very nice. I will give you some paper. Please make pot out of it. I'll give you paper. A pot that can carry water, okay? Paper or not? Here. Take this book. It's already becoming paper, okay? Make a pot out of it. To carry water. Not possible. Why? Because the pot has to be a potential in the material. That means what? You are creating an existing pot? In a way, yes. You are only manifesting the potential. All that you talk about creation is nothing but manifesting a potential. And we think the potential is real. No manifestation is real. Any manifestation will depend upon the substance. Kurta will depend upon cloth, pot will depend upon clay. It cannot have an independent existence. It has a dependent existence. If it has a dependent existence, there is no real coming, it's only appearing. There is no creation, it's only a manifestation. It's only an appearance. But Swamiji, it is useful. Of course, it is useful. Usefulness does not prove reality. Flat earth is very useful for me to walk on. In the monsoon, imagine walking on a ball, holding an umbrella in one hand, bag in another. Flat earth is very useful. But flat earth is only an appearance. It is not reality. The flat earth is an appearance of the round earth. There is no flat earth. Flat earth has come from the round earth. Aupacharikena, you can say that. Flat earth has come from the round earth. Purnat Purnam Gacchate. From that Purnam, Ishvara, Bhagavan, in fact, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. From that, all this is an appearance. Purnat Purnam Gacchate. Therefore, if the rope is 10 feet, the snake will also appear 10 feet. If consciousness is Desha Kala Aparichinnam, the universe will also appear like that. So vast. This universe itself, this dimension feels so vast. Oh, we got images of Venus. The probe has reached Saturn. It took years just to reach Saturn, our solar system. There are millions of solar systems, there are millions of galaxies. What about that? So this dimension itself is so vast. Imagine 14 dimensions like this. We are only one of 14 dimensions. It appears infinite. Because each dimension will have its own space, will have its own time frame. We are talking of time frame here, na? Well, your concept of time will change if you just go to the moon. Forget another planet, our satellite, moon. Night and day will be 14 days each. 7 days of night, 7 days of day. So you'll need a different type of watch there. And you'll have to synchronize that with Earth time also. Just one step away, moon. And what about other dimensions? That's why the story of Narada going for a complaint to Brahmaji. Brahmaji was having his bath. So Narada said, I will wait. So Brahmaji finished his bath. Yeah, I was having a shower. A shower takes what, 2-3 minutes? Swamiji, there also there is shower. I presume so, if someone is having a bath. If someone has to have a bath, there has to be a flow of water. No? So we can have it here, we can have it there also. Having a shower and he came out. And Brahmaji asked Narada, I heard you had a complaint about something on earth. Narada says, forget it. Why? Generations have passed, the problem is no more there. The people who had the problem is also no more there. Different time frame. So this universe, multiverse, it seems infinite, limitless, Desha Kala Aparichinnam. Why? Because it has come from Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, Purnat Purnam Gacchate. It's an appearance. This much is clear. It's clear to understand. It is necessary to understand at this stage that the whole creation is only an appearance, a manifestation. That's why we call it mithya. We don't call it mithya because it is not there. We don't call it mithya because it is not useful. It is there, it is useful, all that is there. Yeah. My kurta is mithya, but it's useful. If I'm wearing an upavastram, I'll have to keep tucking it and holding it in place. Kurta, I don't have to bother. An upavastram or an angavastram doesn't have pockets to put things in. But this has. I can put things in. So all that makes it feasible, useful. But usefulness does not prove reality. Therefore, from the Satyam, if you remove the Mithya, what remains? You can remove it only conceptually, unless you have the patience. Yes, all dimensions are also Mithya. Because any dimension is within that. No? Manifestation of Brahman. Manifestation from Brahman. Any manifestation is Mithya. So you go to Indraloka, etc., Mithya. Yeah. The whole dimension is Mithya. And then you are talking about going to heaven and getting 72 date palms. Yeah. Either he kar lo na 72 date palms. What is the problem? So, Purnasya Purnam Adaya. That Adaya, removing, can be conceptually. As long as you and I are living, it has to be only conceptual. To recognize that all that is there in the world is nothing but existence consciousness. You take anything in the world, any object that you perceive as an object, it's actually only a manifestation. Whatever you perceive as an object will resolve into existence, understanding wise. Physically also you can do it. Not a problem if you want to. At the time of pralaya, it will physically also resolve. Okay. Physically also it will happen. Until pralaya, I have to understand it conceptually and see it. That this creation is only a concept, and that concept has come from Brahman, the reality. And if you remove the concept, what is left behind? Brahman. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avishishyate. What else is left behind? Purnam only. Now, when you say idam, it is important to understand. Though we are dealing with the world right now, what about you? I, the individual. You are looking at the world all right, isn't it? The problem is, because you are aware of the world and you are self-aware, you think you are independent of the world. It's what you call as an unconscious bias that comes in the observation. This is unconscious bias in science as well. Many perceptions of ours I'm talking apart from Vedanta also, there is this unconscious bias created by your knowledge, your background, your culture, etc. That unconscious bias is there. One has to be aware of that. What are my biases? What are my subjectivities? So one unconscious bias is this. Like very often, many of us have this unconscious bias. If we feel strongly about a thing, we will put it up on our WhatsApp group. Okay, fine. We have done our job. Who's reading it? All your characters only. Government should do this. Who's reading it? 30, 40, 50 people who are there on your WhatsApp group. Have you brought any change? At least write to the government, there will be something coming out of it. Putting up in your WhatsApp group, what is the big thing about it? So this unconscious bias, because we think we are different. But remember, your body goes into the physical universe. Your prana shakti into the cosmic prana. Your mind, cosmic mind. Your ignorance into Maya Shakti. Your awareness, that's all that is there. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So when you say Purnasya Purnam Adaya, it is important to see that from I, the awareful being that I am, okay, I am cutting across a big topic because I have explained all this in the class n number of times. Okay. So when you are negating, saying Purnasya Purnam Adaya, from this awareful being that I am, I have to negate all the dependent realities. My body, my prana, my emotions, my thinking, my reasoning, my knowledge, my ignorance, all that negated. Then what is left behind? I. What is that I? Without any of these, what is it? Pure simple awareness, consciousness. That's all that is left behind. I that's aware of everything. I that's conscious of everything. That conscious entity is the only thing left behind. And what is that conscious entity? Purnam. Why? Deshakala Parichinnam. I explained it before, no? How time is a product of the mind and therefore cannot limit the mind, much less consciousness. How space is also only conceptual, cannot negate the I that you are. That means all Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avishishyate. What is left behind is Purnam only. So it acts a little bit like a Mahavakya, not completely, but it acts a little bit like a Mahavakya. Why? Because there it is. What it is saying is your Purnam. Because from the Adaha, Purnat Purnam Gacchate, na? Therefore, Purnasya Purnam Adaya, you can negate it. What will you negate? You are not negating Ishvara. This is a big mistake people make in understanding Tattvamasi. You are not negating Ishvara. You are negating the manifestation. What is manifestation? Whatever you see as Jagat, the physical universe, the pranic universe, the mind universe, and avidya. That's all that is being negated. You are not negating you also. Have I ever said you are mithya? I said the body is mithya. Prana is mithya. Emotions are mithya. Knowledge is mithya. Ignorance is mithya. I never said you are mithya. You are satyam. But Ishvara is mithya, no? Immediately idiotic question I will get. Yeah, you the jiva is satyam and Ishvara is what mithya. कहाँ से गद्दे का जैसा बात कर रहा है? Really, there is only way to answer these questions, honestly speaking. How do you say that? If I say jiva is mithya, you can say Ishvara is mithya. But I am not saying jiva is mithya. Jivo brahmaiva. Shankara. Jiva is nothing but Brahman. And if jiva is nothing but Brahman, Ishvara becomes abrahman. Or what? But what Ishvara are we talking about? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Jagat Karanatvam. Jagat Karanam. Swami, if Jagat is negated, okay, Jagat is negated. Isn't Karanatvam also negated? If Jagat is negated, is Karanatvam also not negated?
Yes.
Yeah. If Karanatvam is negated, how come he can create in the next cycle?
Karanatvam. When you say Karanatvam, it is also a manifestation only. The basic
It is,
Karanam remains.
we are using the word Karanatvam with respect to manifestation. Therefore, really speaking, even though we say Jagat Karanam, Brahman, etc., that is only to explain something. Really speaking, Ishvara, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, that's it. But we hold on to Ishvara. Or we want to dismiss Ishvara. Both are a problem. When I am saying hold on to Ishvara, hold on to the form that you are worshipping. That's why in Kena Upanishad we saw Neidam Yadidam Upasate. That holding on is an issue. If you take Ishvara as only the form you worship is Ishvara, it is a problem. In what way are you different from any other religion then? Someone says Shiva is real, someone says Vishnu is real, someone says Father in heaven is real, someone says Allah is real. Farak kya hai? Within all of us. It's
So
not the form.
Reality has got so many names and forms, that's all.
Exactly. These are all the forms that these are all your Ishta Devata. The form, the portal with which you are relating to Ishvara. It's only a standpoint. And you have to understand it that. Ishvara has to be understood in his Sarupa of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Otherwise you are understanding nothing. And you can't understand Ishvara without understanding yourself as the consciousness that is Ishvara. Otherwise again your understanding is limited. Ishvara understanding is also limited. Yeah, because the understanding of Ishvara is limited. You are leaving yourself out of it. Then Ishvara will not be almighty. It's like once the squirrel and the mountain were having an argument. The mountain saying, I am so vast. I can hold forests, support forests on me. And the squirrel turns around and said, yeah, but you can't crack a nut. I can crack a nut. I can make a hole in you and you can't do anything about it. So similarly, Ishvara will become mighty but not almighty. Yeah. So, if I am not leaving myself out of it, at no way I can leave myself away from Ishvara. If you're standing from the manifestation standpoint, my body, mind, etc. is part of the manifestation. I cannot be separate. If I am talking about the reality, then I, the consciousness, in Ishvara, the consciousness, not separate. So, when were you separate from Ishvara? Except in your feeling out of ignorance. Because your identification of the body mind is so strong, you take the body and mind as yourself. Therefore, you take Ishvara as a separate entity. That's a good starting point. It is good to have Ishvara in your life. Good starting point. Bhakti. Good. Bhakti reva gariyase. Gariyase is starting point, okay? Is the greatest, because greatest means starting point. Without that, what are you going to do? Without starting point, where are you going to run a race? Therefore, Gari, in that sense. And then what? Then you have to go and understand that Ishvara and I are non-different. That's why we have separated it out to Para Bhakti and Apara Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti and Para Bhakti. Yeah. But here is where the thing is, in understanding that Purnasya Purnam Adaya, removing that Purnam from Purnam is understanding wise, cognition wise, that nothing is separate from existence awareness. Once you understand that, Purnameva Avishishyate. What is left behind? Purnam. What is that? Me. Don't say Purnam alone is left. Third person. Again, the tendency to put it in third person is high. Purnameva Avishishyate. Correct. I alone am there. I alone am there, then what about Ishvara? Can you see? You're seeing yourself as different. You're seeing yourself as different. That's why the problem is coming.
You want doubt it?
Yeah, shoot.
You're telling manifestation.
Yeah.
Man, this Brahman is subject jnana of the reality.
Yeah.
Also, subject jnana.
Correct.
Reality both are same.
Reality is always there. Yeah.
Manifestation also you are telling Purna.
Yes. 10 feet snake. 10 feet snake from 10 feet rope. So the infinite is manifested as the infinite universe. The infinite is appearing as the infinite universe.
So
it's an appearance.
Also
Appearance. It is not a separate reality, it's an appearance. Are the snake and rope two different things?
Only I am the real.
So you are the real. So what am I saying other than that? So the reality that from which the whole thing has manifested is yourself. Now why is it necessary to say that the reality from which the whole thing has manifested is yourself? Otherwise I will take myself as a pocket of awareness here. I am real. Meaning what? I consciousness is real. Meaning what? This I, na consciousness. Which I? This finite guy is real. That's the psychologically that's what will come into your mind. That this finite entity is real. No, I'm not the body and mind, I'm the consciousness. And that consciousness is real. And what is Ishvara? Ishvara is also consciousness. Two realities. One. That means what? You are Purnam from which the whole creation has come. You are that Purnam. You are the same Purnam from which the whole universe has manifested. Samjhi, how can that be possible? How can that be possible means you are taking yourself to body and mind. That's why that question is coming. If you took yourself as consciousness, that question will not come. If you take yourself as the body and mind, of course that question will be there. So there is where the whole thing, your shift of identification to the reality, that I am that reality. What you say is Purnam. In fact, if you really understand the word Purnam, you can't say separate, no? Desha Kala Aparichannam, unconditioned by time and space. How can you be different at any time?
This is Maya.
Yeah, you cannot be free at any time. Yeah. You'll always be limited only.
Swamiji, when we talk about bhakti, at that time, it starts with duality, means unless you think is separate, how will you have bhakti?
Agreed. So duality is a starting point. Duality is a starting point because you are experiencing that. I think I am a finite entity. Therefore, duality becomes a fact for me. I have to start from there to understand that there is only one.
Swamiji, in duality, bhakti always the duality will come. When I will pray Vishnu, Atharvan will be Shiva. So
When does duality comes? Only if you take yourself to be body and mind, not otherwise. Think about that.
That knowledge is that.
After, it is not before knowledge or after knowledge. It is always non-dual. You have to discover that. You have to know that. It is not that before I knew it was duality. After, one second, understand. What is the question?
That it is because Shiva, I worship Shiva and somebody worship Vishnu. So it is a childhood habit. I think my God is.
And what is you? Tell me what you are. First, tell me that. When you say you are or I am.
That I agree.
So you have to come to that. You have to come to the understanding of what I is.
That unity has got to come to the mind. That is all.
Understand it. I have explained it all the time in the class. Go back and listen to those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have understood. Unless I understand what I am, how can I say anything? If I is still lost in the stomach, I cannot talk about anything else. So the negation of what I am not, all the notions that I have about myself has to be negated. I have to see it as notions. They are functionally valid. Nobody is saying no to that. Unless I take myself as a teacher, I can't be sitting here and teaching. No? It's a notion. It's a function. It's a role. It is not real. I don't act as a Jagat Guru. No? The moment I take off the class, I am not Guru anymore. I make that very clear. All my students know that. In fact, that's why sometimes they are surprised at the type of things I will say or joke. Deliberately. Why? Teacher is another role. Useful, yeah. So that is where the whole thing comes. You need to take yourself, what you are has to be clear. That I am nothing but pure consciousness has to be clear. This verse is another way of presenting the same thing. That you are nothing but consciousness. And when you say I am nothing but consciousness, I have to understand I am the consciousness from which the whole manifestation has come. That is mind-boggling for us because even though we say I am consciousness, we are still taking it as limited to this body. That is where the whole thing comes. So, when you say I am consciousness, you have not really understood I am consciousness. When you say I am consciousness, I have to understand my limitlessness, my Purnatam. I will say you are full and complete by yourself. Puja Swamiji says that all the time. You have listened to all the recordings. Every teacher, Arshavidya teacher will use this term, your fullness, your completeness. Means what? Unconditioned by time and space. Then you will make a nice compromise with this. From your experience and with your knowledge. Yes, Atma is like that, but I am like this. This is a trip of a lifetime. Atma is like that, full and complete. I am like this. Because Atma is put in third person. No? What is the translation of the Atma I always said in the classes? Someone respond. What is the translation?
Aham.
Aham, I. Understood or not understood, Atma means I. That's it. Don't put it in third person as the Atma. That because of which the eye sees, but that cannot be seen by the eyes. I. That because of which the ear hears, but which cannot be heard. The I. That because of which the mind thinks, but which is not a thought. I. All the time I. So why do you think I taught K now before I come to this? There's an order in the teaching also. So unless this is clear, I has to be clear. I consciousness. I am that Purnam from which the whole creation has come. Until you can say that, knowledge is incomplete. Knowledge is not a fact of you. You are conceptualizing it. But Swamiji, with that, how will you function? You function like anybody else, or kya? Because the moment function comes, what happens? Manifestation. Manifestation means what? Name and form. Means body, mind, etc. No? So, murkhavad acharet, live like the other fools in the society. It's an advice given by one of the teachers in the Upanishad. Murkhavad acharet, like the other fools you also live. Why? Nothing changes. You still have to eat something. No? Oh, it's called bhiksha. You have to sleep. It's called samadhi. Standpoints. This knowledge is always there at the back of the mind when you are functioning. Exactly like you, whatever roles you play, you don't forget you are a human being. No? You forget you are a human being. Some people do, that's a different thing. In human behaviors, come on. Well, how that I am a human being is part the back of the mind. Whether you are playing the role of a mama or child, employer, employee, etc. Doctor, lawyer, tinker, tailor, whatever. I am a human being is there. Similarly, when the knowledge is clear, that's how it will be. I am the limitless consciousness. Now, teacher, now, friend, now, making some idiotic comments. Because you can't be all knowledge. No? You don't know everything that's happening in this thing. So you may make some idiotic. So, that's where the whole thing is. So, what do you need to do? You need to work on the clarity of this knowledge. That I, the consciousness, is limitlessness. All of you have come to the halfway house. I am consciousness. That much you all have come. Everyone here has come. That is not a problem. Udna to sabjan pahuncha hua hai. Everyone is reached there. But this, what we call as Sarvatma Bhava, that is why Ishvara is presented. Because how are you going to bring in everything? So the very presentation of Ishvara is to bring that everything into one. And one consciousness behind that everything. One Purnatvam. Therefore, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamugacchati, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good place to stop. Okay.